Hello everyone, that Manga Kid here to do my September 2019 manga haul. I'm going to get right into it. I think I have about 29 volumes this month. So first off, I've got The Girl from the Other Side, Volume 6. This continues to be a really slow-paced, beautiful, kind of uh, darker series. And in this volume, we see a cliffhanger at the end, and then a bit more information about who our characters are and what's going on. Still a lot of mystery surrounding everything, but in this one we got a bit more information, and hopefully in the next one we're going to get even more. Next, still wrapped in plastic because I haven't read it yet, Candy Color Paradox Volume 3. I believe I have a first impressions of this video or this series up. This is a yaoi series by Isaku Natsume, who I really, really like, and this one's about, they work for like a gossip sort of magazine, so I believe one of them's the reporter and he's the photographer, I think, and then it's the story of their kind of relationship, and it's very funny and it's very cute. And as of the first two volumes, does not have any problematic themes in it as of yet. So hopefully it will continue on that path and still be really good. Next, another boy's love, I Hear the Sunspot Limit, Volume 2. I have not read this one yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. This is the story about this boy here who meets a classmate. They're in college, meets a classmate with a hearing impairment, and it's their kind of friendship turned into romance, and it's really, really beautiful. It's quite slow paced. There's two. The first one's I Hear the Sunspot. The second one is I Hear the Sunspot Theory of Happiness, which is technically just another standalone volume. And then you have I Hear the Sunspot Limit, which there's 1 and 2. So technically there are 4 volumes out right now. Yeah, but it's really good. I really enjoy it, and I can't wait to read this one. Next, continuing on with Silver Spoon, this is volume 10. This one was really good. I continue to enjoy Silver Spoon, agricultural high school. We're getting more into, now I believe they're second years at this point, and we're getting more into them thinking about their futures and thinking about the trials and tribulations of owning your own business. Their families own their own farms and are trying to make a living off of them. And these teenagers are now kind of being hit with the reality of how difficult it's going to be for them to continue on this family business. And yeah, so we're getting a bit of a different side. It's still funny, it's still comical and hilarious and everything, but it is taking a bit more of a serious note in terms of them legitimately having to think about their futures. And next, I continued on with Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight. This is a fun shoujo put out by Kodansha about this idol guy, and the main character is the high school girl. They're dating, and it's at this point in the series getting into the backstory, the drama between him and his ex-bandmates from the idol group he used to be in, and a bit about her backstory as well, and her tragic past, I guess. So I got volumes 6 through 9 this month, and I have read all these. I did enjoy them. This isn't my favorite shoujo, but I like this guy a lot. I find him very funny, and the main girl's quite funny as well. The first few volumes were better. They were very, very funny, but I am still enjoying this and glad to have more of it. But yeah, pretty good. Next, some more continuations, but these ones are things that I completed this month. So I finally got volume 1 of Livingstone, and I have read all of this, and I really, really loved it. So you can definitely look out for a review video of Livingstone. It's a 4-volume series. I found volumes 2 through 4 at a used bookstore a couple months ago, or maybe a month ago. I don't remember how long ago it was. So I just went and picked up volume 1 so that I could actually read it, and really, really loved it. and I finally got volume 6 of Bananafish, so that completes the entire 19-volume series for me. I have not finished it. I think I've only read 4 volumes at this point, but I'm happy to have all of it now, and I will definitely read the whole thing at this point. And this is a set in New York City, and in the 80s, I believe. And it's about a young 17-year-old boy who is um, kind of a prostitute slash drug. I don't know. He's involved with gang stuff, um, and it is a shoujo series. It is technically, I guess you could consider it boys' love, but it really doesn't focus on any romance or anything. This is an action gang story about this young boy, and this Japanese boy as well, who's in New York at the time and getting caught up in all this. And it's about this mysterious thing called Bananafish that they're trying to figure out what it is and what why it's so important. Um, so yeah, it's pretty exciting, action packed. Um, and I got volume 2, the final volume of Love in Limbo. This is another yaoi series. I do have a review on this one. I don't remember if it's up yet or not. If not, it will be coming soon, I think. Yeah, it's only 2 volumes. It was quite good, but look out for the review video if it's not already up to get my full thoughts on this one. And the final thing I completed this month was After the Rain. This is the 5th and final omnibus, so that's 10 volumes complete. I really love this series. I read it immediately when it came in the mail, and I will definitely have a review video up of this one as well some point soon, because this was such a good series from start to finish, and highly recommend picking it up if you like slice of life, sort of melancholic. It has romance, but it's more about just finding yourself and more just like first love kind of thing, unrequited situations. Yeah, it's really good. I really, really loved it. And then on to the series that I started and completed. Some of these are one shots, or most of them are one shots, I believe. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, the manga collection, complete. I don't know how many volumes this is. It's probably 2, maybe, in total, but it's all in this one omnibus put out by Seven Seas. Beautiful, beautiful story about this girl who's dying of a pancreatic disease, and this boy who's a loner who kind of befriends her at the very end of her life, and it's them just experiencing her last little bit of her life together. I will have a review of this because I have thoughts I want to talk about, and I read this I think last night actually, and really, really loved it. So it's everything I thought it was going to be. It was sad, and it was beautiful, and yeah, there's some really nice color pages at the beginning as well. Yeah, it's really, really good. Next, Total Eclipse of the Eternal Heart. This is another one by Sunde, who did Go For It Nakamura. Really, really good horror or psychological thriller. And I do have a review video of this. I don't remember if it's posted yet or it's coming out very soon. But I have a full video on my thoughts on this one. I really, really loved it. If you're looking for a boys' love series that's a bit different, it's dark, it's twisted, and it's a one-shot that from start to finish completes the full story, and it's really, really good. I hope we get more stuff by Sunde in English because I've enjoyed both works, both very different works put out by this mangaka so far. Next, we've got Clawdeen. This is a very thin Seven Seas release about a trans man in the 80s, or this was, or maybe this is from the 70s. It's an older release for sure that we finally got in English, and it's quite tragic. It is, but it's a really interesting look at where media was surrounding trans people at the time, especially trans masculine people, because typically in the media you see trans feminine individuals being represented, but trans masculine folks are not really represented that often in media at all. Um, so yeah, it was interesting. I knew I had to get it just for because I like to support stories about trans people, um, but I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Uh, so that was good. I might do a video about it, but I got to collect my thoughts on it a bit more before I do that. Next, I found at Value Village actually all four old ADV releases of Azumanga Daioh, and this is the four-panel comic with some color pages in the beginning that are quite nice. Yeah, and it's the four-panel comic, high school comedy. It's really just kind of stupid humor, but it was quite enjoyable. I read the first two volumes of it, I believe. So I know that Yen Press has a all-in-one, four-in-one edition of these, but I was never interested in buying it. But when I found these, I paid like $1 each for these at Value Village. So I'm really happy about that. They all have color pages, and they all I just enjoy reading single volumes more than a giant omnibus. But it's quite funny so far, and it's just ridiculous humor. So it's a nice, lighthearted thing to read. And I have all four of them complete, and I paid about $4 for all of them. So that was a good find for me. And the last thing that I completed is this Yoshihiro Tatsumi work, Fallen Words. This is, I believe, drawn in quarterly. Yes. And this was the final short story collection that I think Drawn and Quarterly put out by Yoshihiro Tatsumi. I had the other three, so I was hoping to get this one. I haven't read this yet, but I loved the other three that I bought. So I'm very much looking forward to reading this one as well. And I'm glad that the spines are the same because I thought that this one would be a bit different. But it's the same as the other spines, so I'm really happy about that. They all look really good together, and I cannot wait to read this. If you've not read anything by Yoshihiro Tatsumi, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of or it is alternative manga, which I really enjoy, with a very specific kind of art style. Um, I really, really love everything I've read by Yoshihiro Tatsumi, so I'm excited about that. Next, also at Value Village, I got this one for free, actually, because if you buy 4, you get 1 free. Volume 7 of Sand Chronicles. This is a shoujo I don't know too much about. I know it's kind of tragic, if I remember correctly. I don't know any more of it. It's 10 volumes long. A lot of the volumes are out of print, as far as I know. But it's one I've always wanted, and for a free, why would I pass it up? It's like brand new condition, and I got it for free. So, yeah, I figured one day I'll have all of it, and I guess I'm starting that collection now. And this is my pile of new series that I started this month. Become You, Volume 1 by Ichigo Takano. I do have a first impressions out of this volume. This is kind of a sad story about friendship and music and growing up. And yeah, the only other thing I've read by Ichigo Takano is Orange. I haven't read Dream and Sun, and I don't really have an interest in doing so. But this one, the cover caught my eye, and the story or the premise kind of intrigued me, and I'm really happy I picked this up. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait for Volume 2. And I love the spine. Seven Seas does really good spines. I enjoy pretty much all of them. They look really nice on the shelf. Next, I started Oh Maidens in Your Savage Season. I have a first impressions of this series up when I believe it came out a couple days ago, so go check that out if you want to hear my full thoughts on this. But this is basically a story about this literature club of all these girls. There's about 5 of them, I think, in total. And they're reading all this old literature that contains sexual themes, and so they're getting all embarrassed, and they're getting intrigued and confused and interested in sex. But they're really conflicted and trying to I don't know, it's really cute because they're all embarrassed and trying to figure out what's going on with their bodies and why they're interested, and but it isn't just about the girls, which I appreciate because it could have been just a cute girls manga that only focused on them, but there are male classmates that are very much involved in this story. Her childhood friend is male, and he's very involved in the story. And then there's a few boys that have crushes on a few of them that are involved in the story. So I'm excited to see where this one goes. And I bought the first three, and I think I pre-ordered volume 4 as well. Really beautiful art. I love now Emoto's art. This person did the art as well for Forget Me Not, which is another series I really enjoyed. So yeah, all three of these volumes were really great. It's a puberty story about these high school kids who are just trying to figure out what the big deal about sex is and why it's so embarrassing and confusing. Yeah, it's very entertaining, and I'm really enjoying it. And the final series that I picked up this month, or in September, was Ten Dance. This is a gay ballroom dancing manga, which I could not pass up. I have not started reading this yet, so I don't have much thoughts. My understanding is that each of these men are very, very proficient in particular styles of ballroom dance, different from each other, but they've partnered up for some reason, and I don't really know any more than that, but I knew I had to get this. It looks very, very beautiful. There's color pages and everything. These don't come wrapped, and I don't think they say explicit. No, they just say older teens. So I would assume that they're, at least at this point, in these first 4 volumes, there is no sex in it, but I could be wrong. I haven't read them, so I don't know. But yeah, I'm very intrigued. I like ballroom dancing. It fascinates me. I enjoy the ballroom dancing manga and anime and everything that I've watched coming out of Japan in terms of ballroom dancing. So this one is very intriguing to me because I also like LGBT stories. So I'm hoping this one's good. I have not read it, so I have no thoughts at this point. But that is everything that I picked up for the month of September. In terms of manga, most of these I either have a video coming out of them, or I will make one very soon, or there's a video already out talking about them. So yeah, if you have read any of these and have any thoughts you want to share, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to read them. Other than that, thanks for watching.